This is a brief Bearsorc tutorial for Diablo 2. Just going to look at the gear. For the weapon, I've got a 5 shale, 1 5/5 die light facet. And what this does is it allows me to reach 5 frames per second, or no, a 5 frame attack in bear form. And the 5/5 light facet adds to light damage and, chain lightning when you die, whatever. Chains of Honor Dust Shroud for the plus skills, the strength, and the resistances. Some other stats on there, pretty nice also. Big part of the build is the dual dreams, and I've got a demon head and a troll's nest, and they have 106 strength requirement for the troll's nest, a 102 for the demon head. You can also use a bone visage. Um, I would try to go for 20 resists. That's what I have on both of mine. I think that's the most important stat. Faster hit recovery, defense, magic find, both important. I'm using an angelic Ami and one angelic ring. That just gives me a fuckload of defense and some dexterity that I desperately need to wield the phase blade, which also is the reason for the IK gloves. Life tap from the Drax is nice, but it really doesn't do that much considering I'm not doing that much physical damage with the phase blade and that most damage comes from magic. Uh, yeah, the other ring is a Raven and a plus 30 strength belt. I'm looking on getting a better one of these. This one's got 54 gold find, 73 defense. It's a spiderweb sash. Marowalks for the dex. Torch. Annie. 20 life small charms. Dex charms. An all resistance charm. Geeds. And some faster hit recovery. And attack rating. On the Merc, Infinity Insight, Eth Fortitude, Andy's Visage with a Ral in it. Pretty standard, and the Infinity is invaluable because of its Conviction Aura. For the enchant damage. Now, just going to go outside and buff up real quick. I'm buffing. Oh yeah. Forgot to show that. With a Beast, Berserker Axe, and a Spirit Monarch. The Spirit Monarch's for the +2 skills. The Beast is just to turn into a bear. You can switch that out for a Call to Arms if you want to. I personally don't have the patience. Looking at the stats, we're doing, 3,500 to 39,000 damage, and probably about 2,500 of that is pure fire, and that hits every time, with the rest being lightning, being most of the variable damage. Attack rating right now is at 7,500. That should jump up to 14,000 with the Blessed Aim from the Act 2 normal combat merc. Defense is at 4,300. That's in part to Frozen Armor. I need one more level before I can get Shiver Armor, so that should increase my defense. As far as attack rating goes, again, I've got about an 80% chance to hit Hellbale, which is pretty fucking sweet considering I'm attacking, 5 times a second and 6 times a second, something like that. And hitting most of those times with up to 40,000 damage. And as far as the build goes, max warmth, max enchant, max fire mastery. That's for enchant, obviously. Max lightning mastery. That's to synergize with the level 30 holy shock that the dreams give me. I've also put some points into thunderstorm. I'm not really a big fan of thunderstorm, and I guess it helps every now and then. It'll kill a monster or whatever. And a point in a Frozen Armor with plans to put a point into Ice Bolt, Ice Blast to get Shiver Armor, which hopefully will be a little better than Frozen Armor. Perhaps not. perhaps the points would just be better spent into Thunderstorm to make it somewhat decent. Yeah. With that said, I guess a little demonstration is in order. Yeah, I'll take the Armor Shrine. So, what I was surprised with this build was how fast it killed. It actually killed things faster than my Barb, and I mean, it seems like it might be like a novelty build, but like, it's actually pretty serious and, you know, really quite powerful. I just cleared Trav in, you know, however many seconds. Well, that concludes this part of the tutorial. That's my recommendations for the Bearsorc build. I played around a lot, and maybe, you know, in the future we'll do some videos looking at some of the alternative gears. I know a lot of people like to use a Passion rune word. I don't recommend it, but until then, go build a Bearsorc.